November is a month to rebuild, engage and lend a hand. It's also a time to celebrate some of the pillars of our society, our youth, our parents, and of course our food. Today we have a great show lined up just for you with features that shine a light on these important observances. But first, let's head over to our newsroom for the latest. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Good day, I'm Theodore Henry and this is your JIS News for Friday, November 14, 2025. Jamaica has received more humanitarian aid from the Dominican Republic and the EU to support ongoing recovery efforts in the wake of Hurricane Melissa. On Wednesday, Foreign Affairs Minister Senator Kamina Johnson-Smith accepted a shipment from the Dominican Republic that includes food rations, mattresses, mosquito nets, blankets, bed linens, and medicines.
The comfort of a mosquito net, of a sleeping cot, a package of food to serve a family of four for a week. These are things that bring certainty, that bring some comfort and stability at a time of extreme dislocation. The thoughtfulness of the government of the Dominican Republic in extending these gifts cannot be overstated.
To date, the Dominican Republic has sent over 628 tons of relief supplies across multiple shipments to assist communities hardest hit by the hurricane. The European Union has also sent multiple aid packages, the latest coming last Thursday with approximately 50 tons of water, sanitation, shelter, and health items. Supplies were provided by the United Nations Children's Fund, UNICEF, the World Food Programme, and other partner organizations. Representative of UNICEF Jamaica, Olga Isaza, says the agency is leading the importation and coordination of relief items for children and families impacted by the hurricane.
At least 280,000 children are severely affected in the country. We are working hard to reach at least 260,000 among of those. 170,000 are children. We know that the most compelling priorities in this moment is wash, sanitation, hygiene, and nutrition, among other many things, for example, health and protection. So we are working hand in hand with the government to be able to ensure that each child is reached with the needs they have.
Local officials and business interests say the arrival of 2 cruise vessels in Ocho St. Anne this week marks a renewed chapter for Jamaica's tourism sector in the wake of Hurricane Melissa. Stakeholders say the combined 6,500 passengers and crew signal that even after the hurricane's destructive path, the country remains open for business, and that the appetite for Jamaica is still strong among travelers and cruise lines alike. Carnival Corporation's Holland America vessel was in port with passengers and relief supplies. Its crew members also participated in cleanup efforts in St. Anne.
It's a great morning for Ocho. The economic benefits of it's just going to start mushrooming again.
Member of Parliament Matthew Samuda expressed gratitude for the shipment of relief, the third for the cruise line since the hurricane.
Millions of persons have visited Jamaica via cruise over the years, and they've experienced the best the island has to offer. It's good to see one of our major cruise partners also giving back to us now that we have a particular challenge because of Hurricane Melissa.
MSC Cruise also contributed to the flow, reinforcing confidence in Jamaica as a premier Caribbean destination. Restaurants and other business establishments in Ocho Rios saw some encouraging traffic as visitors sought experiences from vibrant local cuisine to artisan crafts and guided tours of the region's natural beauty. The Urban Development Corporation UDC is reminding Jamaicans that the rate for entry to the world-famous Duns River Falls and Park has not changed. The current rate for resident adults remains at 1,000 Jamaican dollars with a valid Jamaican ID. For resident children, ages 4 to 12, the cost is $500 each. The tourist rates of $25 for adults and $17 for children also remain unchanged. In response to false claims circulating that claim the rate has changed, the UDC is encouraging members of the public to rely on official communication channels for accurate information regarding its properties and attractions. Meanwhile, Mayor of St. Anne's Bay, Councillor Michael Belnavis, points out that along with the famous park, other attractions are now open.
Mystic Mountain Dolphin Cove, Chaka Cove, and Chaka Tours. They're all open. We went and toured all of those facilities, and they're pretty much all up. Not every attraction is open, but Blue Hole I know is open. So a lot of things are happening right now. The attractions are there. The business community, they're excited of what is happening. So it's just a matter of really welcoming the guests and doing what is necessary. So it's really back to business and business as usual.
Due to significant structural damage sustained during Hurricane Melissa, export operations at the Plant Quarantine and Produce Inspection Branch's export complex in Montego Bay have been temporarily suspended. All export inspection and related services normally conducted at the Montego Bay facility will now be processed through the Plant Quarantine Export Complex in Kingston until further notice. Exporters are therefore asked to make the necessary logistical adjustments and to liaise directly with the Plant Quarantine and Produce Inspection Branch regarding inspection arrangements and any additional requirements to ensure the continued smooth processing of export commodities. All import-related operations remain unaffected, and the branch will continue to facilitate inspections once an appointment has been scheduled with the office. The Ministry of Agriculture says the restoration of full services in Montego Bay remains a top priority, and regular updates will be provided on the progress of repair work. Fishers who lost their fishing IDs and licenses during the hurricane can now receive updated documents free of cost. Portfolio Minister Floyd Green gave the update during Tuesday's sitting of the House of Representatives.
We understand that some of our fishers, especially along the coast, lost everything, including their fishers' IDs and their fishing licenses. As such, we urge our fishers to report that to the NFA. We will be reproducing all current IDs and licenses free of cost once we get that report from the fishers.
To further support the recovery of the sector, the ministry will be implementing a moratorium on licensing and ID fees for fishers in the hardest hit parishes for 6 months. This is to allow them to focus on rebuilding their livelihoods.
This week we will start a program of providing wire, net, and rope, focusing on the beaches where fishers are able to go out.
For areas severely damaged by the hurricane, plans are being considered for vessel and engine replacements, as well as repairs to landing sites, utilities, and access points to restore fishing communities. Minister Green adds that generators have been dispatched to marine fuel stations in Alligator Pond and Montego Bay, with another scheduled for Great Bay by the end of the week. With assessments now underway of structural damage for the rebuilding phase post-Hurricane Melissa, the government says it is pleased that there is an adequate supply of cement for that process. During a tour of Carib Cement recently, Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce, Senator Aubin Hill, remarked that the company was producing at a greater capacity due to the recent upgrade to the plant.
This new machine here is able to produce 3.2 million tons a year from 2.5, and it's going up to 3.5. That will absolutely, this ensures that we always will have the cement that we need. This will help us to build back quicker and better those places that have suffered because of Melissa passing over Jamaica.
Meanwhile, Industrial and Building Solutions Manager at Carib Cement, Andre Nelson, is urging the government to look at a hybrid reconstruction system that will provide the right concrete mix to last longer and protect the health of persons.
In the hospital reconstruction, we have to consider antibacterial concrete, antifungal concrete, and different additives that we can add to our concrete mix that will make it much more last longer. For the destruction and the disaster that we're seeing across the island, we have to look and see where applicable we can now start doing concrete roads for the areas where you expect erosion, water coming across, susceptible to damage. We can't say we're going to do concrete for the entire Jamaica, no. We have asphalt and bitumen as a byproduct from the petroleum business, and that has to be used.
52 operators have so far been prosecuted and 32 motor vehicles seized for overcharging of fares since the Transport Authority launched its Operation Reset program on Monday. The operation is focused on addressing the issue of some public passenger vehicle (PPV) operators overcharging transport fares since the hurricane. Managing Director Ralston Smith says the authority intends to ramp up its operations across the island to stamp out this illegal practice. Operators who continue to overcharge passengers are being warned that they could have their road licenses suspended or revoked. Commuters are encouraged to assist the authority in cracking down on this practice by reporting incidents of overcharge. Persons can call 876-926-8912 or WhatsApp 876-551-8196 and provide the license plate numbers and routes for the vehicles. Images or videos of the vehicles in which you experience overcharging can also be sent to the authorities. In other news, Parliament has approved the withdrawal of $400 million from the Capital Development Fund to implement Phase 8 of the Bauxite Community Development Program. Minister of Finance Favour Williams tabled the Bauxite Production Levy Capital Development Fund Withdrawal Order 2025 resolution during this Tuesday's sitting of the House of Representatives.
The Capital Development Fund currently has sufficient resources to facilitate the withdrawal of $400 million during the 2025-26 financial year.
The Bauxite Community Development Program was established in 1996 with a mandate to promote long-term sustainable development in communities affected by bauxite mining and alumina operations. It is administered by the Jamaica Bauxite Institute, with each phase having a duration of between 2 and 3 years. The $400 million just approved for the drawdown from the CDF, which is managed with proceeds from the bauxite levy, is to finance projects over the period 2025 to 2028.
These activities are geared towards strengthening livelihoods, enhancing community infrastructure, and supporting socioeconomic development across the bauxite parishes.
In making his contribution to the debate on the motion, the Minister with responsibility for mining, Floyd Green, announced that the Commissioner of Mines was adopting a zero-tolerance approach to the rehabilitation of bauxite pits.
And that is my clear position. Because unless the pits are repurposed for use in agriculture, and I will speak to that, but they should be filled in keeping with the legislation. We are also going to be doing a review, have started a review in relation to the specifications for rehabilitation. Because I've heard from enough persons and farmers that when the land is rehabilitated, enough topsoil is not there, so it makes it very difficult. And we plan to come to the House with changes to that regime.
And finally, Minister of Justice and Constitutional Affairs, Delroy Chuck, says the government is moving to formally transfer parish court judges from the civil service structure to become full members of the judiciary. Speaking at a sensitization session with parish court judges, Minister Chuck said the necessary constitutional and legislative changes were being advanced to make this a reality.
The bill, to the best of my knowledge, has gone through several iteration or reiteration, and it should really be in Parliament already, but I'm hoping before long we can take it to Parliament to ensure that you become a part of the judiciary, which means a constitutional change, and that will be done.
The minister also announced that the terms and conditions of service for members of the judiciary would again be reviewed.
I will immediately, by next week, reappoint the commissioners to once again look at the terms and conditions in light of the law, which gives them the authority to make recommendations to Cabinet.
He indicated that the same 3 commissioners who previously reviewed judicial salaries may be reappointed. They are Leighton McKnight, who served as chair, Mina Israel, and Michelle Robinson. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.
Some breastfeeding myths are smaller breasts make more milk. Sometimes they think bigger breasts make more milk. Some are if you drink more water, you will make more milk. They will tell you that you must eat oats and porridge and all of these things to make more milk. They will also, some people think that breast milk is a byproduct of pregnancy and not necessarily enough to fill the baby's tummy, which is not true. Some people think that if a mommy breastfeeds on a hungry stomach, it will give the baby gas. That's definitely not true. They will say if you have a headache or you're angry and you breastfeed the baby, it can cause the baby to get gas. That's also not true. Some people think that breastfeeding causes the breast to sag, which is not true. It's not breastfeeding that causes that. I mean, once you get older, gravity is gonna happen. They're gonna sag anyways. It's not breastfeeding that's the problem. There are so many of them and I hear a new one every day, but those are some of the common ones.
Ignore the myths. Breastfeed your baby for good health.
With more than 600 schools sustaining damage during the passage of Hurricane Melissa, home-based learning has become a reality for many students. In our next feature, we'll share practical tips for parents on how to support their children's learning at home, especially when it comes to math.
What is it, my daughter? All right. Let me take a look at it now.
Math can seem daunting, but there are a few things you can do to support your child at home. One area to look at is games. We all play games on a regular basis, especially children. And how much fun would it be to tie mathematics into the games they play?
There's a very interesting notion that is put forward. And that notion is the fact that the things that we are interested in are the same things that we seem to do well in. Now, if it is that around our interest, there's also a heightened level of performance, or we seem to learn things much faster when we are in tune, it therefore becomes important for us to actually put emphasis on making mathematics an interest. Because once we begin to allow our students or our children to see the fun in math and begin to develop a level of interest, it is at that point in time you will find that they may learn the concepts much faster.
Arithmetic helps us in keeping track of time, conducting business, and making plans.
In reinforcing the math from home, we have to do a few things. One, you could, while cooking or baking, allow your child to come forward and to share the math concepts that they were exposed to in school. I'm sure while you're cooking something, your child can apply some measurement skills, some conversions, some looking at the beakers and so on. Additionally, we know that at times we do some amount of sorting and organizing. There's always a shelf somewhere to be packed, a cabinet to be reorganized, some things to be moved around. This is an opportunity to allow your child to use their spatial awareness, to be able to look at shapes.
Do you want to know what I do?
I find creative ways to incorporate the knowledge to them, because math is not an easy subject. And most children will tell you, math's hard, but it's something that they need in their everyday life. So I find creative ways to put it to them in fun ways that we both can enjoy doing it together.
Some of the concepts that I believe that parents could pay a keen attention to is the number concept, like the simple addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division.
You have to know at least the basics. I mean, we're not going to tell them about the algebras and the other areas which is a little bit challenging to them, right. But at least know to make change, know how to know the difference between distance and time and things like those. I'll try to encourage all fathers at least to know the basic about the concept of maths. For the primary student, you use whatever they like. Okay. If they like food, they use food. Divide up the pizza, show them how to divide it. If they like money, they're the children who love playing with money and love counting money, use the money.
Look at your child textbook. You'd see the topics based on the child age group, all the topics that they'll go through throughout the entire year. And you can also consult with the teacher and find out what topic am I looking at now, so that you can use all the online resources.
We have to find out what is the root of the problem first. Is it that you're not understanding, or you're not grasping as much as you're being taught? Then that much we need to identify what are the weak areas, what are the problems. Once we can identify what is the problem, then we can actually try and fix it from there.
So we're not supposed to be thinking with our fixed mindset that there's only one way, so the teacher is doing it wrong. We could be doing it wrong, we might never know. So we'll have to be open to the fact that we're not the only person with an opinion, or this is not the only way of solving that one problem.
Parents, I want to encourage you today. When it is that your child comes home with the math book and you realize that the approach that is being taken to deliver the content is not the same way you are used to it, don't throw it aside and say, no, that's wrong, or that is harder, that's different. You need to embrace the approach.
There is many ways to help.
Right.
You don't have to help physically, but being there to sit down and to encourage the child, talk with them, or even while they're doing it, you look over and say, yes man, okay, try it this way. I mean, that is support.
Support your child and give them the push they need. In math, practice makes perfect.
Don't have any business in the western end of the island, please do not go. The traffic pile-up is actually creating a risk to persons' lives. Our inability to efficiently transport relief supplies to the region because of persons coming out of their vehicle and sightseeing and doing selfies, as we saw over the last several days, is creating a significant traffic pileup. And if there is blockage in, let's say, Holland Bamboo, then the relief trucks cannot come out.
During the passage of Hurricane Melissa, many Jamaicans were affected, some more than others. As the authorities do what is necessary to bring relief to those who need it most, let us consider the feelings of our brothers and sisters as we traverse this difficult time. The selfies can wait.
Everyone deserves a second chance, a principle the Ministry of Justice has put into action, creating a pathway for troubled youth to rebuild their lives through rehabilitation. Up next, we take a closer look at how the program works.
Child diversion in the Ministry of Justice is just our way of diverting children who are considered to be troubled, wayward, or children who just come into contact with the justice system, because not every child that comes into contact with the system is a troubled child. So we offer them rehabilitation and an opportunity to get a second chance.
So how do we get to this stage? Consider the scenarios earlier. Those children are now in the custody of the court. In a traditional judicial system, when found guilty, these persons would find themselves behind bars. However, the Ministry of Justice has reconsidered the fate of such individuals and is offering a better solution. But first, the individuals must accept responsibility. Then, they and their victims, along with the court, must agree to the terms of treatment, that is, child diversion. So, if your child is between the ages of 12 and 17, they are eligible. The program, which began in 2020, is guided by the Child Diversion Act, which was passed in 2018, and is supported by other acts such as the Child Care and Protection Act, which speaks to the best interests of children. Some offenses under Schedule 1 of the Child Diversion Act are simple larceny, malicious destruction of property, and having sexual intercourse with a person under 16. However, judges have autonomy to send cases or offenses to the Child Diversion Program at their discretion. Yes, there is hope for our young people who find themselves on the wrong side of the law. But what does that second chance look like?
It will look different for every child. So what happens once they are referred to us, we have offices across the island, so we have 14 offices. They're sent to one of our offices in the parishes, and the child diversion officer in the parish will do an intake assessment, and we ask the child a lot of questions. We also ask the parents questions to get an understanding of what this child is all about and what home life is like, what school is like, and so on. Once we're able to do that, we then craft what we call a treatment program for that child, an individualized program for the child.
After a treatment plan is drafted, it will need the approval of the Child Diversion Committee. Once approval is given, treatment will commence.
A child might be referred to the program for simple larceny, but when they come to us, we realize that they're using drugs, their educational level is not where it should be. The intervention that is provided will be geared towards not only the simple larceny, but also the other interventions that that child might need. So we might have to refer them to, let's say, the National Council on Drug Abuse, so they might be able to get drug abuse treatment and counseling.
And what about that boy in scenario 2? What hope is there for him?
These children come to us. They might be A students in school. They might be actively participating in sports, other activities, but they're, for whatever reason, they decided to try and they were caught having sexual intercourse. They're referred to us. For a child like that, that comes to the child diversion program, the aim of the program is not to punish them, but it's to ensure that they get the adequate information about the actions that they're taking, how it can affect them, how it can affect others. So it's not a case where, oh, because they're caught committing this offense, that their lives should be over. So child diversion basically provides them an opportunity to, you know, when you were in basic school and you had that eraser, or primary school, to just erase that mistake and rewrite it in a more positive way. I just want parents or guardians to know that child diversion, the program itself, is here to help our young people develop, and it's here to help them develop in a positive way. So don't consider it punishment, or even if it is, it's not one that is so final that this child cannot go into adulthood without leaving that simple mistake that they made as a child behind.
The Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining says that while many fishers heeded the call to move their vessels away from the shoreline ahead of Hurricane Melissa, the Category 5 system still dealt a devastating blow to the sector, racking up an estimated $5.76 billion in damage. Despite their efforts, the combination of powerful winds, heavy rain and storm surges left many fishers struggling to recover. Among them is a fisherman, O'Neill Smith, who describes the destruction to his livelihood.
Every boat mash up, right? 90 out of 100 boat mash up. And the gas house over there, you can't get no gas. Would have to go to sea. If you even could have go out there and get the fish themselves, you can't venture out. Because there's nowhere to come and store them in the market here, like normally. And people not just going to come and take all the catch that you bring in. Right? And even see all the ice house over there, also it get affected too, and you now can supply us with the amount of ice that we take out to sea, because people are come from all over and I buy a bag. So we have to just lower it at that way and make everybody can get a cool down from a little ice from the ice space over there that they might use a generator and run. Right, so that's the only survival way for right now until better come.
That's where we close today's program. I do hope you've been informed, inspired and uplifted. Do join us again tomorrow for another engaging edition of Jamaica Magazine, right here on this same station. If you missed any part of today's show, you can catch the recap and more great stories at gis.gov.jm. Until next time, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, walk good.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.